My name is Ryan Verardi with Envision Networks. I will be leading today's first ever Coffee with Envision webinar, and we're going to be talking about scoring big with high school sports, all related to high school sports site. I want to take a second and thank everyone for taking time out of their day for this webinar. Really looking forward to talking to you guys about scoring big with high school sports. So, just to begin, we're going to go ahead. I will talk about a few bullet points of what I want to accomplish today and what I want you to walk away from this webinar with. First off, we'll be talking about the untapped audience with local high school sports and the potential revenue source with local high school sports in each market. We're going to talk about how high school sports site platform works, how it's designed, as far as the different features in high school sports site that can be and have been featured, and selling multiple revenue streams with those features is also going to be covered. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So again, thank you so much for attending. And dominating high school sports revenue in your market is the theme of high school sports. I want to talk to you all about this untapped revenue resource that is local high school sports. So just to give you a little bit of a background of high school sports in general, right now we're looking at over 21,000 public schools in the greater United States today, and looking at around 8 million student athletes. You look up to the left, you see football being, in the 2015-2016 season, football being the dominating sport as we head into football season now, very relevant. And then going on down the list, baseball, softball, boys and girls basketball, all the way down to girls soccer. Now, please don't be limited to this list. Any sport in high school can be and should be, included in your high school sports site. And please understand that there is a true untapped resource with local high school sports in each and every market. Think of all of the parents and all the grandparents and all of the friends of these athletes, anyone that knows these high school athletes, anyone that goes back 20, 30 years after they've graduated, that they want to go see their favorite high school rival football game played. Think of all of those people that care about high school sports, and more importantly, they care about spending money for high school sports, whether it be the actual ticket to the game, or spending money on their high school athlete for their uniforms and going out to dinner, after the games, going to get ice cream, whatever it is. That is an audience that you are going to tap with your high school sports site. So, how have others monetized high school sports in the past? So I'm going to show you a few examples, just again give you a little bit of a scope of high school sports site. In Greeley, Colorado, the Greeley Tribune, they partnered with a local automotive dealer, Kia North, and organized a school spirit photo contest, which featured 10 of the local high schools in the area, where they gathered photos of these athletes, like the one you see right here, in addition to many others. It ended up being a phenomenal promotional avenue for the local high schools in the area to get the name out, not only for their schools, but the high school athletes. And Kia North ended up they helped raise around $14,000 in revenue for this local paper, the Tribune, and over 2,100 opt-ins for this. So, great publicity for a local sponsor, and great way to generate money for any business, including a radio station. Another example, speaking of radio station, WTMJ, based out of Milwaukee, a few years ago began streaming local high school games. Actually carried 26 regular season games for their station. And we were able to get a quote from the general manager and the vice president of the station, Tom Langmeyer, who said, "We're building long-term relationships in the community, exposing students and families to our WTMJ and its brands." That, in a nutshell, really describes what we're trying to accomplish with having a high school sports site available for radio stations. So, what exactly is high school sports site? It is an opportunity for each radio station that affiliates to create a hyper-local website. Cannot stress that word enough, hyper-local, to own the online image of high school sports in their local market while generating a new, previously untapped revenue source. And we like to go after what we call the non-traditional sports fans to be your standard audience in your high school sports site. Now, think of when you think of non-traditional sports fans, I want you to think of the 25 to 54 parents who may not follow the NFL or the NCAA team in their area, but they are definitely going to follow their high school athletes' football game, their high school son or daughter's games, and they're going to spend a lot of money on their athlete. So that is what we like to call the non-traditional sports fans. As far as scores and stats are concerned, this is all powered by the latest scoring technology called ScoreStream, which all of the scores and the stats for the local games in your market are going to be uploaded automatically to your high school sports site. There's no work for the station to do there. It's all powered off of social media algorithms, and it's able to hit a certain number before the scores are populated on your high school sports site, so instant and accurate updates on the scores and the stats, and continuous throughout the game. We like to make it very easy for you, very turnkey to create and continuously update your high school sports site. We have free online maintenance and automatic updates, and you really are the controller as far as what type of content and what features you want on your high school sports site. You work directly with our head web designer. Her name is Carrie. She is great. She will work with you one-on-one on creating your high school sports site. What you see here is a sample template. And there's no outside software to install. There's no added designer costs. Very easy to maintain and continuously maintain. We do give you access to the back end of the site. And again, we want to make it as turnkey as possible for you to not only include the features that you want to include, but continuously update it. Now, High School Sports Site is designed to be a separate website because we want it to be a separate revenue generator. What you see here off to the left is the KKEA main website. They're one of our affiliates based out of Honolulu. And what you see off to the right is their high school sports site. Now, again, we do want our affiliates to create this as a separate website because we want you to go after that untapped new audience, and we don't want you to shut out any potential advertisers. So that's why we advertise it as a separate revenue generator. That's not to say that you can't hyperlink the site, to your station website, or if you want to make it a part of it, that is fine. But again, this is what we design it to be a hyperlocal website and a standalone hyperlocal website. Now, how can you, the station, monetize high school sports? So, many different ways that you can monetize this. The biggest takeaway as far as the features go is that every feature that you include can double as a revenue source and a revenue generator. Some of these that you see up to the right here, Athlete of the Week, Athlete of the Month, Coach of the Month, these are all features that can be part of your high school sports site, including one of my favorites, Ask the Expert columns. You have the ability to partner with a local business and have the said owner of that business be an expert on your page. That expert pays you a certain premium every month, and they get great advertising on your high school sports site. And let's just say it's a local doctor's office because high school athletes get hurt, and a concerned parent wants to go on there and ask a question because their young athlete rolled their ankle and they want to know what to do. They ask the question. The expert can provide videos. They can provide answers to that questions. Everybody wins in this scenario, including, of course, the local sponsors who get exposure on the high school sports site, and of course the station, who collects premiums every month for each feature. And continuing on that same vein, different banner ads, tile ads, a local business directory, and even a coupon sender. You can have a business do a 25% off coupon to advertise as part of your high school sports site. All different ways that you can sell the site. And you would definitely want to include social media as part of your high school sports site, whether it be Facebook or Twitter fan pages. Or you can incorporate Instagram. It's just a great way to connect with the local audience, and even do sponsored team pages for any of the local teams on your site. And as far as selling to advertisers, we do equip radio station affiliates with the proper tools to begin selling the site. We have customized presentations that we send to our affiliates, and we also have free training, to walk your sales team through specifically how to sell your high school sports site and how to sell the certain features. I'll go back to Ask the Expert and show you a specific sample sell sheet that was created by a recent affiliate. And I love this just because you look off to the left and you see all these expert categories, everything from home repair to home decorating to travel. All these are potential examples of businesses that can be your experts. And we want to equip your sales executives to have a sell sheet, walk into a business, and walk out every time with a buy, with a sell. Now, as a sample package that we put together that you feel free to go off of, shows different features, including Ask the Expert, Athlete of the Month, and all the features that you show here. Just a sample projection, of how you could begin to model selling your high school sports site. This is just a quick guideline. You can modify this as you see fit. I see Ask the Expert at the top. Now, let's say you have 12 clients for Ask the Expert, 12 local businesses that want to be an expert on your high school sports site, and you charge them, for example, $100 a month. That's 12 clients at $100 a month over the course of 12 months. You're looking at over $14,000 a year just from Ask the Expert alone. And if you go specifically by these projections, you're looking at over $143,000 in total yearly sales from your high school sports site. So this is in addition to all the other buys that you guys currently get at your station. Here's a new revenue source with your high school sports site. So some key takeaways to consider. Hopefully, I hit every bullet point that I talked about at the beginning, including the untapped audience of friends and family of all these high school athletes. More than 8 million students across the country, and again, multiply that by about 5, and or even more, and those are all of the audience members, the family, the friends of the family that are all going to go to these games. That's your audience, and that's who you can sell to. Very low cost to operate, very low cost to update, and it is designed again to complement your current website. Very simple to build and maintain. So we do give you access to the back end of the site. For you to go ahead and make your own local updates, but you do work closely with our head web designer, and she will help you design your site. Latest scoring technology, ScoreStream. Very little, if no, work for you guys to do as far as uploading the scores to your high school sports site. And again, the multiple revenue streams, the banner ads, the business directory, the Athlete of the Month, the Coach of the Month, the Ask the Expert feature. These are all examples of how you can sell this site. And you include what you want. You don't have to include all the features that I just mentioned. You can include ones that I didn't mention. It really is up to you. And we try to make it very easy for you to sell to your local community and create a hyperlocal site for your local community. Actually got a couple questions here that I want to go ahead and answer. So we have, how flexible is the sports coverage? Can we focus on sports other than football? Yes, 100 times yes. You can, and I know we're heading right into football season now, but this is high school sports site. You can do basketball, baseball. You can even do swimming. If we've got people here on the West Coast, I know that's big. In California, you can include any type of sports that you want. That's the beauty of a high school sports site. So another question is, how do you get the content? You're actually going to need to, thanks Connie for the question, you're going to need to designate some person or a team of people at your station, as we like to tell affiliates, to be your point person for for your high school sports day, and they're going to go ahead and start to gather the content. That content can be from the local high schools. That content can be from the local newspapers, whether it's photos, teams, team info. You can go ahead and gather that content. Now, this could be even a high school intern that you hire just for school credit when you launch your high school sports site. So that's another one. Got another question as far as, can you stream the games? Yes, but we do ask that you provide the stream yourself. We do not have a stream site on high school sports site. If we have an affiliate that wants to stream the games, that's absolutely possible, but we do ask that you provide the stream. And as far as looking for another question. Can we include college sports on our site? That's a really good question. Actually, we had a past affiliate that did a "Where Are They Now" type feature, where they showed whether the athletes went on to pro or they went on to college sports. So just a great way to see how these athletes end up. So it could be you could work it into a great feature on the site. So. If you have any questions, or if you want to get specific rates, for your station for high school sports site, you can go ahead and email us at highschoolsports@envisionradio.com, or feel free to call us at 216-831-3761.